are fictional characters who inspire us, and others who terrify us. But it's rare to find a character that makes us rethink so many things. The very meaning of good and evil, the meaning of perseverance and ambition, and the meaning of pursuing a goal that has nothing to do with reality. Fang Yuan is not a hero, nor is he a villain. He is the embodiment of cold reason, a mind that has transcended emotion, and a man who chose the path of power no matter the cost. Reverend Insanity is not just a Chinese fantasy story. It is a philosophical work disguised as an adventure. Every line tests your principles, and every decision Fang Yuan makes forces you to ask yourself, do we truly live according to our own will, or according to what others want for us? Today, we'll talk about Fang Yuan, and about why Reverend Insanity is more than just a novel. It is a literary treasure that has changed how many people see the world and humanity itself. A few days ago, I had a heated discussion with a friend who hadn't read Reverend Insanity, but had heard enough about the novel and its protagonist. His question was, why do you people idolize this character with such obsession? He's evil. He kills, betrays, and doesn't care about anyone. Yet you put his pictures on your profiles and share his quotes as if they were eternal wisdom. I lost the argument, as I always do. It's a matter of morality, and my friend isn't wrong. Besides, I don't like getting into that kind of debate. I just prefer to write about it in a video and upload it to the channel. Still, his question made me genuinely wonder, why this novel in particular? And why Gu Yue Fang Yuan among all the countless characters I've read about since I started reading or watching stories? Maybe because Fang Yuan isn't a character to be told, he's a character to be experienced. In most stories, we seek hope, the triumph of good, the hero who faces darkness to restore balance. But in Reverend Insanity, there is no balance to begin with. There is no good or evil, only pure, sharp will, moving against everything we've been taught to believe in. Sometimes we don't need profound words to explain why we love a certain novel. If you had asked me 2 years ago about the best novel I'd ever read, I would have immediately said No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. Back then, I would have tried to justify my answer with the usual talk about the depth of the character, the genius of the author, and how the story reflects his dark essence. But the truth is much simpler. That novel gave me an unforgettable experience, and the same goes for Reverend Insanity. The difference is that this time, one sentence wouldn't be enough. It would take an entire video. Or perhaps just one chapter, chapter 1673, the one titled after the main character himself, Gu Yue Fang Yuan.
This chapter goes far beyond being a mere political confrontation. It becomes a profound philosophical treatise on the nature of existence. Through the dialogue between Fang Yuan and the leader of the Frosttide tribe, the chapter deconstructs traditional ideas of morality, ambition, and even the very meaning of the word demon. In the end, it concludes that the truest form of life is the uncompromising, absolute expression of the self, regardless of the consequences. The Frosttide leader represents what could be called worldly truth. He's not a fool, he's a seasoned realist, a man who understands that society runs on power, interests, and manipulation. His philosophy is purely utilitarian. What matters are results, not methods. He tries to teach Fang Yuan a lesson about the ways of the world, believing him to be a naive youth meddling in a game far beyond his comprehension. The leader's worldview is revealed through his inner monologue about corruption. He justifies his greed under the name of ambition, the simple desire to gain more benefits. He sees society as a cake, and everyone, from the highest to the lowest, as nothing but exploiters. To him, morality is merely a contract for the distribution of benefits, one that everyone tries to circumvent in order to secure a larger share. His ambitions, wealth, women, power are, in his mind, the only logical pursuits. He lives within the system's rules, even when breaking them. because the system and its rewards are the only reality he acknowledges. His failure lies not in his pragmatism, which he shares with Fang Yuan, but in his lack of imagination. Fang Yuan, in his first life, represents the complete opposite. His response shatters the leader's ideological framework. He doesn't reject the leader's truths out of ignorance, but out of boredom. He says, "I understand all these tricks perfectly well, but accepting them doesn't mean I like them." Here, the turning point occurs. Fang Yuan doesn't embody idealism, but post-realism. After living for centuries, he has seen the end of the road and found it empty. His philosophy centers on experience, not results. Life to him isn't a race toward accumulation, but a space for learning. While the tribe leader finds meaning in possession, wealth, influence, Fang Yuan finds it in authenticity, in living according to his true feelings. His principle, kindness repays with kindness, hatred repays with hatred, is not a moral law, but an expression of that very authenticity, a way of feeling and interacting with the world on his own terms. He seeks the ecstasy of life, and that ecstasy exists only when he acts with unfiltered self-honesty. Low power doesn't frustrate him, it delights him, because it makes authentic living more challenging, and therefore more magnificent. The leader's response to this philosophy is fear. He calls Fang Yuan a madman, and more importantly, a true demon. Why? Because Fang Yuan cannot be controlled. The chapter redefines the demonic path, not as a being that revels in killing, but one who refuses to think by society's rules. A demon is someone whom society cannot subdue through its usual tools. No threat, no temptation, no authority. The tribe leader stands powerless, for his weapons, promises, wealth, women, status are useless. Fang Yuan does not fear death. How can you threaten a man who finds challenge itself pleasurable? How can you bribe someone who's grown weary of rewards? Fang Yuan is called a demon because he is free. He has no worldly ambitions, only one goal: to be himself. He is a complete existentialist, aware that surviving is one thing, but living is another. The leader is an expert in survival. Fang Yuan, even at his rank 3 in cultivation, is an expert in life.
And then we reach the final part of the chapter. The song, "The Blue Sea is Laughing." Drifting with the waves, only caring about today, heaven laughs at this hectic mortal world. Who will win? Who will lose? Only heaven knows. The rivers and mountains laugh, the misty rain is far away. How many great men and heroes have the tides washed away? The song glorifies the discovery of the true self, solid, solitary, yet still laughing madly. That is Fang Yuan. But the true brilliance of this chapter reveals itself in its final lines, where it draws a profound parallel between two lives, two completely different states of existence. In his memories from his first life, Fang Yuan was a participant. He stands on the stage, eyes closed, wearing a faint smile. He is the accompanying musician, the living force that brings this philosophy to life. He is the madman who has just declared his freedom from the world's laws. His response to existence is a literal embodiment of his philosophy, to live according to his authentic feelings and find the ecstasy of life in being true to himself. He was the spirit of the defiant song, unyielding, untamed. But in his second life, he is the observer. The same song plays, the same scene unfolds, yet his role has changed completely. Now he stands off the stage, his eyes hiding a dark light. He is no longer the passionate performer, but the cold watcher. That faint smile, once a symbol of authenticity,
has turned into a mysterious gaze concealing centuries of experience, calculation, and a purpose beyond emotion. And here lies the key. The immense power of time had changed him, and yet it seemed nothing had changed at all. What changed? His position. He has moved from a player within the human stage to a spectator who sees the entire play. He no longer merely lives his philosophy. He wields it, along with everything else, as a tool toward his ultimate goal. And what remained unchanged? His essence. He had always been Gu Ye Fang Yuan. That essence, free, defiant, and unbuyable, is the same true self described in the song. In his first life, that self appeared in his rebellion to live by his own emotions. In his second, it manifests as his cold, unwavering pursuit of eternal life. He is still the true human who laughs in the face of the world's laws, but now his laughter is colder, deeper, and far more dangerous than ever before.